everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we will be further discussing the Swiss Government Excellence Scholarship and, to be exact, the process of finding the professor and getting the invitation letter, writing the proper research proposal in order to apply for this scholarship. If you don't want to miss any of my useful videos about fundings, scholarships, international exchange programs or international IT certifications, as I am an IT engineer currently, please don't forget to subscribe on my channel and hit that like button in order to like my video and make it more viewable for other students or potential students. So let's get started. I already discussed what the Swiss Government Scholarship is, for whom it is, how much it pays, and what are the main requirements in order to apply for the scholarship. So here we will be focusing on the hardest part, which is considered the hardest by many students or potential students who are applying for this scholarship. And it is finding the professor and getting an invitation letter from the professor. In most of the cases, unless specifically stated by the scholarship, which can be in cases when you are applying for a specific direction, let's say for a specific program, let's say it can be acting, or it can be art, or it can be singing. In all other normal cases, more or less normal cases, you have to submit research proposal both for this program and to your professor as well. So let's start from the first thing. What is research proposal actually? So the research proposal is normally a document that is up to 10 pages long that provides an overview of your proposed research. What does it mean? Your research proposal should have an introduction or background into what you want to research and why you think that your research is important. Why not other research in your area of expertise, let's say chemistry, why this research specifically and not the other research topic. So you have to provide the reasoning of your research background, why you are choosing research and why you think you should focus on that one. Then normally I'm providing you with a general structure so that you can of course fluctuate or add or remove something depending on your specific research proposal. But then normally you have to include the research questions, the main questions that your research is striving to address. If your research will be addressing more than one question, it can be the main research questions and additional research questions that the research might answer in case of the additional ones. And then the third section can be the methodology, the research philosophy that stands behind the methodology of your research, the research instruments, research tools. It can be a survey, an interview, the quantitative data collection or qualitative data collection. I have a very good book that I can recommend where I take all the information about the research methodology. It's quite a long book, but you can locate the parts that you need in order to build your research methodology part, so that you can see the research onion, and from the research onion you can understand what research philosophy your research follows or which research instruments you have to outline in your research. The next and the most important part actually of your research proposal is your time frame. The program itself pays a big attention to the research time frame, when your research will start, when your research will end, so that they should know if you're applying for the PhD scholarship, your research should end within 3 years, or if you're applying for the 12-month research stay, your research should be finalized within these 12 months. I hope it is clear. And after the research time frame, I think it's better, as I was researching for 12 months in Switzerland, I would say that it's better to add research limitations, the limitations that you might have during your research. One important section that I would also add to your research proposal is conclusions and outcomes. So what would be the outcome of your research? How are you gonna help maybe the science that you're researching, the area that you're researching in, how does it gonna contribute either in your country or in Switzerland, which is very good point too. You could also include in your research that your research would contribute to some kind of development in your country or some kind of a development in Switzerland in some area. So that would really boost your chances to be chosen for the scholarship, because they are really interested in boosting the development of the country the student comes from. So they would be very, very interested in actually seeing that your research can help the country you're coming from or can help Switzerland. And as I said, it would boost your chances to get chosen for the scholarship. And of course, it's compulsory to add references. After you have written a draft of your research, you have to check its grammar on Grammarly, that I often use to check my scientific or research work. And after that, of course, it's important to put it in a proper design and form, to have a title page, then to have a table of contents and other parts of a proper design. I actually found one very good draft of a research proposal on the internet, and I can share its link with you in the description of the video down below. And that's how your normal research should look like, but pay less attention to the formatting and more attention on the quality of the research actually. So it's very important that when professor sees your research and quickly reads through it, he or she understands it, and he or she understands if they are willing to supervise you or not. As soon as your research proposal is ready, which should be very fast, not very fast, but still you have to kind of rush, because after your research proposal is ready, you have to actually start the process of searching for a professor. And when your research proposal is ready, I do recommend you first to look for different departments in the universities that are applicable to this scholarship. To look at the University of Bern, University of Zurich, University of Fribourg, University of Lausanne, for the departments where you want to study, and see what these departments are researching. In the department of chemistry, for example, there can be many different sub-departments or research groups that are researching very specific and narrow topics, so that you do understand what these departments are researching and what they are focusing on. It's very, very important that you do this, otherwise you can focus on your research on something that is outdated or something that is not interesting for the educational institutions in Switzerland. That's an example. You say that you want to research the Bluetooth network and base your research proposal on that, but then after you look through the research departments and research teams in Switzerland, you realize that they are the computer science researchers or IT researchers, they are actually researching the Wi-Fi connections and not the Bluetooth connections. This is just a hypothetical example, but it's very important to get a fresh idea on what the researchers are currently focusing on in Switzerland, and specifically the universities that are participating in this scholarship, and so that you can better understand if your research proposal would interest them or not. So what did I do? First of all, I had an interesting topic in mind, and I prepared a research proposal on it, and some of the professors told me that your research proposal is really good, but we actually don't research that, and we don't focus on this narrow direction. So that's why I had to research and find some other directions in my research area and adjust my research proposal to that. And after then, one of the professors got interested in my research, and he asked me to change some aspects of my research proposal, which I did, and then he was able to send me an invitation letter. And that's why it's very important to not only to focus on the research topics that you want to research, but also to consider what the research groups and universities are researching currently in Switzerland. I hope this idea is clear. On the next stage, imagine that you have prepared your research proposal, you have researched for the professors, and you have probably the list of professors you want to email. Next thing to do is prepare the sample email. So that in this email, first of all, you greet the person, second, you provide a very short overview of yourself. There is really no need to provide the whole motivational letter here. And next, what you do is you provide the information about the scholarship. Because the first thing that professors like to do is that I don't have funding, and I will not be able to do that because we don't have any funding for the additional PhD students at the moment. And that's why, after providing very short information about yourself, if you provide the information about the scholarship and that you will be able to have funding with your scholarship, then they will get interested in you, and they will not reply to you right away that they don't have funding or something like that. And by Providing the information about the scholarship. At the third paragraph, you do provide the information about your research and why you have chosen this professor in order to have your research with, so that you write some good words about the professor, that you have seen his or her research in that and this, and now you would love them to supervise your research and something like that. Then of course you attach your CV to this email, you attach your research proposal, preferably in the PDF format, and you attach the brochure of your Swiss Government Excellence Scholarship. As I mentioned in the previous video about Swiss Government Excellence Scholarship, you have to get the PDFs, research scholarship brochures, application form, and every needed document from the Swiss embassy of your country by emailing them, so that at that time, if you have the brochure, you will be able to send them to the professors too, because some of the professors, they don't know about Swiss Government Excellence Scholarship, and you actually have to inform them, let them know that the scholarship exists and they can provide you with funding to study on PhD or have a 12-month research stay at the university. Next thing that I would advise you is to send emails to literally all related professors. Of course, you have to customize these emails by changing what you're interested in, why you're interested in specifically this professor, and obviously changing the name in your email. But it's very important to email all of the professors, because at first you can receive many rejections, but at some point you will be able to find, I'm sure, to find the professors that will be interested in your research. If you see that in your narrow area none of the professors is interested, and you literally emailed everyone, you can slightly change your research proposal and email other professors in the same let's say in the same area. It can be chemistry, but chemistry has different narrow research groups in it. So if you email the professors of a certain research group in different universities, you can then switch to other research group by slightly changing your research proposal and still emailing professors. This job can be very boring and cumbersome, but I'm sure that if you email every possible professor, you will be able at some point to find a supervisor, or some professors will come back at you. Even those who reply that they can't supervise you or something like that, you can ask for improvement, what you can improve, what you can change, and everything like that, you know. So that never give up and continue emailing, continue communicating, and be patient. I'm sure that you will find the supervisor who will be ready to supervise you. What is required from professor, by the way? The professor will write you an invitation letter for the scholarship. I drafted my invitation letter myself and professor just signed it. And also you will need the CV of the professor who is inviting you, which is very important, so that the scholarship commission can see what he has done, why he's become a professor, and everything like that. Also, when you're applying for the scholarship, you can notice among the PDFs or the documents that you have to submit that the scholarship program has a custom research proposal form, and it has a word limit. So that, for example, if your research proposal is bigger, you can submit all of the parts of your research proposal because it has word limit, and of course you have to copy and paste time frame. And of course, what I did, I copied and pasted my research proposal to the forms that they have with specific questions. And the points that the parts that were not fit because of the word count, I deleted them. But I submitted my research proposal, printed research proposal or PDF of it separately to the embassy, so that they have my separate research proposal in full text as well. Of course, it's your choice. If your word count for the forms that they provide is okay, then there is nothing to worry about. But if it's not, you can also attach your research proposal, add your custom research proposal from a PDF document as well. And that's basically what I did for this program. I really hope that this video was useful to you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them in the comment section down below, or to send them on my email address. In order not to miss any of my useful videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and press that like button. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you on my individual consultations about the international funding, scholarship programs, exchange programs, and IT certifications. Looking forward to see you in my next video, and have a nice day. Bye!